what's really going on. Let me see. Stop that. What's going on, good people? Happy Thursday to you. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Pro Fan Talk Live. We are here Thursday night doing it again. We haven't had a moment's rest. And it's been 14 karat crazy, as usual. With the signings, with people coming in and signing official contracts, with everything going on down in Dallas. Other teams signing people. King Henry goes to Baltimore. Just found out that Sam Howell went to Seattle. It has been nonstop, bros. Nonstop. Got some people in the room, got some people on the Facebooks, got some people on the Twitters. So we all over the place, man. We are all over the place. And tell you what, man. And I think I said this last year. Do you remember it being this busy with the free agency signings and stuff like that? I don't remember it being this busy. But I am positive that we probably said that last year. You know what I'm saying? We probably said that at some time in the past. And it's just crazy, dude. Like, I don't understand. Well, I do understand it. It's business, and you trying to get stuff done. It's Howie season. Yeah. And this is the way it goes down. And we're just on the other side of it now, because now everybody's trying to catch us. Everybody's trying to see what we're doing. And it's I just think it's exciting. What's going on? My boy Vince is in the building. Vince is always first out the limo, man. Lil G Griffith. He says he's a big fan of the Eagles. 2024 season is better. How it's not hard to be after how everything crashed and burned last year. But I appreciate the enthusiasm, sir. So it's all good, man. All good. And hopefully they're gonna show improve this year, because we got the pieces. We already got everybody in place. Everybody where they are supposed to be. And that's a good place to be, man. Turn this down a little bit. That is a very good place to be. So it has been so much information, man. But let's start with your boy. He's generating all the headlines, man. Saquon is in the building. Saquon is in the building. And this guy is happy to be in a place where people appreciate him. Not saying that they didn't appreciate him in New York, but the organization didn't appreciate him enough to pony up the bucks to keep him. When they had the chance, when he was still healthy, when he was, when everything was going on, they had the opportunity to keep him, and they chose not to. And I don't know why they didn't do it. I don't know what they're thinking in their front office. A lot of people seem to think they made the right decision. All of this hoopla really is just coming into play because they mad he came down here to Philly. Division rival, but that's the way it goes sometimes. That's exactly the way it goes. So, we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen. But I think from him going from the worst offensive line to the best offensive line is going to make a major difference. We were talking about that a little bit a couple of days ago. It's one thing, because I remember when we played the Giants, it was like, all right, all we got to do is stop Saquon. And I'm sure I got some video clips from past shows where I was like, you just got to keep him from getting you with that big play, because he will hit you with that big play. Always happens. Always happens. So you'll get nothing, -2, tackle for loss, and then bam, he'll hit you with 30 yards. Or bam, he'll hit you with 40 yards or catch a screen and take it 60 to the house. And that's what you had to prevent because the whole offense ran through Saquon Barkley. So it was easy to game plan them. They didn't have no other options. DeVito wasn't going to beat you. The other QB wasn't going to beat you. So they got to live and die with that now because who knows what they're going to look like next year. But they made their bed, so they got to lie in it. You know, it is what it is. So I don't think it ain't gonna be too much love lost. But the one thing I will say is this, man. I wanted to get into the whole Tiki and Saquon beef. So let me say this, man. It's one thing. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. Yeah, Vince, Giants are building a defense, bro. 100%. Giants are building a defense. But let me say this. I listened to the whole Tiki Barber bit. Do I think there was some real malice from Tiki Barber towards Saquon? Not really. Yes, it was kind of tongue in cheek. Yes, he was going with the flow of his co-hosts. They were both saying the same stuff. He was speaking more from the New York fans than anything else. So, do I think there was any malice towards it? No. Was he hella annoying? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it gets, what's up, Jason? It gets annoying when you have somebody constantly talking about you, talking at you, talking down about you. And Tiki Barber strikes me as a guy that's got like that better than you attitude. If you heard Ryan Clark's video today, then you'll understand. And listening to him, I can see that. So was there ill will towards Saquon from Tiki Barber? Not really. I think just, you know what? Ryan Clark said it best. He said, when you have a certain type of relationship with certain people, you can say almost anything you want, and you know there's a joke, and you know when to hold it back. You know when to not go there. But to even do that, you have to have that relationship established. And Tiki doesn't have a relationship. Tiki is going on I'm one of the greatest Giants running backs ever, so I can say what I want to say. That's pretty much it. And if he wasn't one of the best running backs ever for the Giants, he can still say what he wants to say. However, in this day and age, people will meet you where you live. And when I say where you live, I don't mean that literally. I mean, they will come on your radio station, on your podcast, get in your DMs and in your Twitter space and let you know how they feel about you in no uncertain terms. So sometimes there is a time and place. I said this the other day. Everybody has been in a situation where you with your friend, your significant other, one of your boys, somebody you grew up with, one of your girls, don't matter. But there's always a thing that you joke about. You might needle that person a lot and just like, why you always mess with me about that? Or whatever it is, right? That's based on your experience. But there's always a day where you may have pushed that joke a little too far. Or for whatever reason, maybe an event happened or something traumatic happened in their lives, and now is not the time to be playing. And sometimes you may have crossed that line and they will let you know, because that same joke that y'all joked about every day in high school and in college, that same joke that y'all talked about every day, now today is not funny. You picked the wrong day. Maybe you knew there was some things going on in the background. Maybe you didn't. but you get a very quick and very clear understanding that this is not the time to play. And in my opinion, that's what happened with Tiki Barber. Number one, he didn't have that relationship like that where he thought he was just going to say whatever he wanted to say and it was going to be cool because he was an ex-Giant. And number two, looking at Saquon's history, everything he did for the team, protecting the quarterbacks, protecting Eli Manning, protecting Daniel Jones, and everything that he'd gone through, letting them franchise him, and all of that stuff, being the model citizen in the community, representing New York Giants to the utmost degree in and around New York City. He was that dude. And you bundle all of that under the umbrella of you did all of that for us, but we don't want to meet you halfway. We do not want to honor your wishes or give you a deal so you'll stay with us for the rest of your career. Thanks for what you've done. Peace. Because the Giants didn't even offer him a contract. So sometimes, me and my wife were just talking about this tonight. Sometimes you can feel a certain way when you've invested more time or you've put into more of that relationship than anybody else has. And things that's when people feel a certain kind of way. You put more into it than they did. And then Saquon went out of his way, didn't want to go anywhere, was trying to get a deal. He wanted to be a Giant and end his career in New York without question. That was not even up for debate. And the New York Giants gave him the cold shoulder. Didn't even offer him a contract. That man got 1,000 yards on the worst offensive line in football, and y'all didn't want to give him a contract. That's crazy. He had 962 yards rushing. And does this have this doesn't have his receptions. But he caught the ball. Oh, here we go. He had 280 yards receiving. His best year in receiving was 2022. So last year he had 2 good years. And New York always had sucky offensive line. Jason Sink, what up? Cody K, what's going on? Tiki should not be saying anything about leaving on bad terms. Giant fans don't like him for the way he left the organization. 100%. 100%, Vince. And what people have to, what people need to understand is, especially former athletes who are now in the media, and everybody got something to say. People will quickly bring up receipts. And that's the thing I think, for the most part, for the longest time, athletes and anybody for that matter, anybody in that upper level that think they're better than the average person. There was a time when if you got away with it, you got away with it. Now, not so much. Now it's not so much. So Tiki, everybody know what he did. Everybody knows what he did. If you don't, I ain't gonna bring it up. If you don't, look it up. It's very easy to find. So you got to be careful when you're putting that stuff out there, because people will try to get personal with you real quick. And if you putting it out there, you got to be man enough to deal with it. So I just think he picked the wrong person. And he never thought that Saquon was going to come back at him and say something. And then, of course, he tries to, backpedal a little bit. I like Saquon, and I've met him many times. Like, listen, just because you meet somebody doesn't mean that you know somebody. And there's some things you will say to your friends and your family, and some things outsiders are not privy to. That's in any set of relationships. And I just think, Tiki got a little bit too on his high horse, and somebody called him out for it. Didn't like it. It is what it is. So, yeah, Vince, there wouldn't be any venom toward him except for the fact that he came to the Eagles. If Barkley signed with the Texans, he would have totally had the Giants fan on the side. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. But you can't. Here's the thing: you can't just forget that. You can't just, at least for Saquon, you can't just turn that off. You already know Saquon is hosting a football camp somewhere in New York. That's already scheduled. Already got people scheduled to attend. Ex-players, friends from other teams. He's probably already got that scheduled somewhere in New York. Does he just nix that? We were talking about that the other day, Vince. Torrey Smith, when he came here, he brought some of the Eagles and stuff like that to his camp from his old team. So, and I'm saying that because he still got things going on in the city that have his name on it that he just can't run away from because he's done spent money. He's hired people, and he has an event or an organization working things behind the scenes, and he just can't cut and run. So it's not that simple when somebody just spit and fire your way, like you just the worst thing since rotten bread, not understanding all of the work that you've done in the community and all the goodwill you put out there. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. When you try to do something good and the people crap on you, that's when you feel a certain way because you're trying to do the right thing. And without question, Saquon has always done the right thing. Always. He done already had the cute moment with the press conference when his little daughter was talking. So he's already endeared himself as far as Philadelphia goes. And then he done already used the main thing is the main thing. And he done already put that out there. And of course, people are comparing that with Jalen, obviously. But just try to get people on the same page, man. And not for nothing, man, you got to look at, if you could put a better roster together on Madden, you probably couldn't do it. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and Saquon daggone Barkley. We wouldn't have thought about this in a million years last year. And that's coming from somebody who I thought DeAndre Swift, I'm sorry. I thought DeAndre Swift was that dude. I thought Miles Sanders was. Let me be honest with you. You know I'm a fan of Miles Sanders. DeAndre Swift was better. He was better than Gainwell. Because remember, I thought Gainwell should have been running back number one. I thought he earned that. DeAndre Swift came in and left no misunderstanding. And I would expect the same thing from Saquon. So it's going to be amazing to see what we can do, to see what we can do with the RPOs, to see, please, if Kellen Moore is going to put Jalen Hurts under center. This is all I want to see. All I want to see is a true play action package from under center. That's it. Oh my God, we can wreck shop. They got to respect Saquon. They have to respect Saquon, period. So it's got to freeze those linebackers. Because if it doesn't, we're going to eat them alive one way or the other. That's exactly how you want it. What do you think that San Francisco was doing? They was killing folks because you had to pick your poison. Do you want Debo? Do you want CMC? Do you want Ayuk? Pick your poison. Oh, by the way, Kittles is maneuvering on out in open space right there, and nobody bothered to cover him. You got too many weapons, man. We got way too many weapons. So now defenses have a problem. And on top of that, and I've said this before, it makes a difference that Saquon is going to be playing on grass. Makes a difference. What did Franklin say that has got NFL looking in the Eagles and tampering with Barkley? Franklin. Oh, the Penn State coach. He said that Saquon told him that Howie Roseman was trying to sell the fact that he would be closer to all his Penn State family and his high school family and stuff, something to that effect. But basically, whatever it was that he said, I don't know exactly what it was, but he, in the timeline, how he said it was, Saquon told me. And Saquon was like, he got it mixed up. I didn't tell him anything. My agent told me that. So do I believe that? I kind of do. The agent told him something and he ran with it as the gospel from Saquon. I can see that happening. But nevertheless, the NFL is investigating. And my thing is like, let them investigate. It shouldn't be too hard to figure out that, or too hard to get a phone message or something like that. They do that stuff all the time. So if there was smoke, there would be fire. So regardless of course, Mike Florio jumping on it and he want to play Perry Mason lawyer and go to the nth degree with all of that. And at the end of the day, like, wasn't nobody worried about that when the Giants wasn't offering him a damn contract. I think that should only come into play if the team that you are under contract is trying to work with you. But because the Giants weren't trying to do nothing, it wasn't like the Eagles was trying to steal him. They didn't offer him a contract. So what's the problem? So I think the NFL is going to do their investigation, and it is what it is. I would be very surprised if the Eagles get penalized for that. I will be extremely surprised because I know without a shadow of a doubt, there's a lot of teams that have done a hell of a lot worse. You look at all the stuff that Daniel Snyder did, and he didn't jack happen to him. Oh, he had to sell the team, so he made $1.5 billion. Stop playing with me. That ain't no damn penalty. Get out of the league, and by the way, here's $1.5 billion to set you on your way. Something that you can stick under your mattress for a rainy day. Get out of here. NFL better not do nothing crazy like they're going to investigate that. All the other stuff they let slide, and this is what you want to get serious about, stop playing. Stop playing. I heard that, Jason. He clarified it. But again, that's what everybody thought. So, but the NFL put it out there that they got to investigate, so they're going to investigate. So maybe it'll be 5 hours, maybe it'll be 5 minutes, but it is what it is. I don't think there's too much to it, and it ain't that big of a deal. So if you haven't by now, please smash that like button so we can get them likes up, because that helps the algorithm and all that kind of good stuff. So smash that like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. We're going to keep it moving. Should have brought some juice up in here. Yes, he was. Jason, a lot of people have mentioned that, talking about if they're gonna investigate the Eagles, how come they're not investigating the Bears? You're absolutely right. How come they're not investigating the Bears? So, but I think because somebody brought it up, the NFL has to kind of look into it, and they'll look into it and probably keep it moving. That's what I'm thinking. So, but we'll see. Yeah, they just said the same thing. It happens a lot, and it's one of those things where the NFL will look into it if they wanted to, because they got too many eyes on stuff like that. But because, like I said, because Mike Florio running his mouth on his show, Now it's on the national stage. So they got to do something. So, but I don't think if Florio didn't come out with this, trying to start something, I don't think anybody would have worried about it. I don't think the Giants would have worried about it or anybody else. So, technically, yes, but letter of the law and all that kind of stuff. You're not wrong, Vince. Sometimes I feel like it's silly, but hey, that's what they got to do. Yeah, Jason, they set him up at the combine and all that kind of stuff. So, you know what? I don't mind Florio, but Florio strikes me as one of those guys that because he was a lawyer and he will let you know 8 million times in the episode on his stream that he used to study law, he used to practice law, and we used to do this, and he will give you all of that legal verbiage and all of that kind of stuff to let you know that he was a lawyer and he was in courts, and he always lets you know that. And this is what the thing is always like, because I remember he was saying it all because he was on the warpath against Daniel Snyder. He was like, he was going to find something out. But at the end of the day, you on the outside looking in, bro. What you going to do? Nothing. You going to watch the story and keep it moving. And you going to pound your hand to the table because ain't nothing going to happen. Nothing going to happen. All of that stuff they had on Daniel Snyder with all of them, the reports and all that kind of stuff that nobody ever saw. A wasted 6-month or 6-week investigation for absolutely nothing. Well, not absolutely nothing, but they came away with nothing. How you going to ask a girl to do a 6-week report and then take an oral report and that's it? Come on, Raj. You know better than that. So again, they'll look into it when they want to look into it. I see Alfonso C is in the building on the Facebooks. Alfonso, I appreciate you. Trying to show appreciation to everybody that jump in, man. Digging it. So it's at the end of the day, it's it is what it is. It is what it is. So are they gonna do anything with it? Probably not. Vaughn Russell just chimed in. What's going on, Vaughn? I appreciate you. So, but they're gonna keep it going, man. We still got a lot of ways to go, and still a lot of things that are going on. And it's exciting because Howie still has to. We still got to get some linebackers. We still have to get some linebackers. That's one thing we have to get squared away. And in that, let us let us look at, let me get this up real quick. So I was looking at who's left at linebacker. Jerome Baker, Devin White, Tyrell Dodson. Jerome Baker, to me, is the obvious choice since he just played with Vic Fangio down in Miami. Vic Fangio knows him. They got a relationship, whether it's good or bad. He knows him. He knows the system. He knows what's expected. So that would be a good option. 94 games. He turns 27 in December, so he's still young enough. So, yeah. I think that to me, that would make the most sense. Let me see. Let's do this. Let's see. What was the name? What did I say? Jerome Baker? Yeah. Let's see. Stats, player stats, and player search. Let's see. See what we can see. Jerome Baker. Check out the stats. I thought that was the cheetah for a second. Tackles. With the Dolphins, game started 12 games, 51 tackles, 27 assists, 78 combines, 38, just a sack and a half, no safeties, pass defended. He had 2 INTs. Interesting. Nice. For 23 yards. Okay. Take that. Okay, so he's decent. Not a lot of sacks, but at linebacker, that depends on what's going on. But I do like the two interceptions. So 12 games started, so that's enough time. That's enough snaps to understand what's required of you. You know what I'm saying? So that's plenty of time for that. So I don't mind that at all. And also, not for nothing, Zach Bond from New Orleans. He's somebody I look at. He got lost in the sauce down there in New Orleans, but he was pretty good coming out of Wisconsin. He had a little cachet about him coming out of college, and he just got lost in the shuffle down there in New Orleans. And I think he's one of those guys that made the most out of the snaps that he did get. He didn't get a lot, but he got enough to make some tackles and get a couple picks. So that's something. But I think he's going to be. Yes, he did special teams, but I think he might have an opportunity to make an impact. Because I mean, let's be honest, we didn't think Nick Moreau was going to do anything, and look how that turned out. So you can never tell. You just, when somebody gets the opportunity, let's see what they're going to do with it. Let's go to career. And what did they? 17 games, which was, he wasn't solo. He only had 17 tackles, 9 assists, 2 sacks, though, and a pick. So, like I say, he didn't play a lot on the defense, but he made the most of the little time he was in there. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Hey, I'm for everybody getting a shot, man. Put him in there and let him go. Let's see what we got. So, and you'd be surprised at what people do when they get the opportunity. Because guess what? Just like Saquon, just like Bryce Huff and everybody else, Zach Bond trying to get paid. He's trying to get paid. Cody, that's a good question, bro. I wonder who's available for trade that isn't within their last year, the rookie contract that Howie could snag that's better than what's available. Great question, but also it would be you got to wait until to see what really is going to happen the closer we get to the draft, because everybody's standing 10 toes down right now. Ain't nobody moving. They made their deals with the free agents, but you already know the closer we get to the draft, that's a whole nother ball game, because teams are going to be itching at the bit to do something, to make a splash, to get a player, move up, move down, trade picks, all of that kind of stuff. So that's just the domino effect of stuff that can happen. So there is a lot of things that can happen. Got one of my homeboys in on the Facebooks, the White Farley. What's going on, my guy? I appreciate you, homie. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. Yo, Dwight, tell some of the homies down there, yeah, I want to talk about the Bengals. I still represent the jungle. Don't get it twisted. Brian Daly, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you, bro. Do we lose a pick off that? Hey, what's going on, Dev? I don't know. I don't. The NFL's got to lose their or finish their investigation of whatever it is going to be. I don't know. Let me see if I can look that up. What is the penalty for NFL tampering? What is the penalty for tampering in the NFL? Let me see. A team found in violation in the league's tampering rules could be fined and or docked draft capital. In 2016, the Chiefs were punished by the league after being found to have engaged in improper contact with pending Eagles free agent Jeremy Maclin. So, okay. So we would be Dr. Pick. It doesn't say exactly what that pick would be. You know, did the Eagles tamper with Saquon Barkley? Per NorthJersey.com, the Eagles said they did not have impermissible contact with Barkley before signing him to his 3 years, $37 million deal. Barkley has denied tampering. He mentioned that in his presser, too. Yeah. So it all depends on what they find, man. All depends on what they find. I know the NFL is going to do their due diligence, or kind of. They're going to do what they're supposed to do because, like I just mentioned, Florio brought it up, and he said it on his show. So now you got the national media talking about it. So same thing with Atlanta. The NFL is going to look into it, and they're going to say yes or no, probably rather quickly. So we'll see. We shall see. So it's going to be pretty good, man. We got a lot of dominoes that still have to fall, man. It's like playing Jenga. Every time you pull a block, every time you make a deal, something else is going to happen. Something else is going to happen. Hold on. Breaking news. Dev, where you see that, Dev? Hold on. Let me go to let me see if the NFL. Hold on. NFL. I don't see anything. I'm looking. I'm on the NFL Twitter. AJ Dillon, Curtis Samuel, Saquon. Nope. I don't see anything. Where'd you see that? Adam Schefter? Okay. Let me see. Bring up Shefty. Schefter. Oh, I got him on here somewhere. At least I thought I did. Adam Schefter. Following. Yeah. Former linebacker Devin White signing 1 year deal up with the. There we go. All right. There you have it. Breaking news. Good call, Dev. Appreciate that one, bro. 1 year worth 7.5. Okay. How we doing it? We back at it again. I like that pick. Still would have liked to have Patrick Queen, but that's water under the bridge. So yeah. I'm good with that. That's Howie season. Y'all better recognize. Let's do let's see. Devin White players. See what Devin did last year in total. What we got? I know he can play. Don't get it twisted. I know he can play. That's not even. And he's still young. He's what, 25, 26 years old? Tampa Bay, 14 games, 49 tackles, assists, combo solos, 2.5 sacks, 2 picks. I'm good with that. All right. We got somebody that knows how to play. So, yo, what's going on, Dwayne? Dwayne Hunter is in the building, y'all. Another one of my homies from Cincinnati. Represent. We all from Princeton High School. Put your hand over your heart every time you say it. Don't get it twisted. And y'all need to check out Dwayne's son, Darweshi. Is it Darweshi or Darweshi? I want to say it right. He's playing for the University of Miami. Dwayne, did they make we found out this week if they made it to the big dance, right? So I've been checking them out. I've been checking out your feed, man. Young fella's doing some things. I definitely gonna have to get him on the show, man. He's doing things. So, but shout out to you, man. I appreciate y'all, man. So yeah, man, we got okay. So let's take a look. Let's do a recap. Devin White, Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean. Do we want to try to sign Zach Cunningham back? And I'm saying that because I don't dislike Cunningham. Moreau, he can walk. In my opinion, Zach Cunningham was adequate. And I think Zach Cunningham will be that much better under Vic Fangio. With Vic Fangio as our defensive coordinator, it is my opinion that our defense gets better by default just because it's him. So let me know in the chat. Would you rather keep Cunningham? I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. So let me see. Monsieur, when they won the Super Bowl, but questioned his attitude, and he was benched against the Eagles in the playoff game, I believe. Devin White proved that contract could mean better play, though. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, and listen, man, not for nothing. There is always something to be said. Always. When you are in a new environment. Because you want to put on a good show. You want to put your best foot forward. And you want to let the people know in the new city that they got the right one. And you want to let the people know in the old city that they let you go. They let the wrong one go. So it can work both ways, but a lot of times in a new environment, different coach, and you got different attitudes, different personalities working with you. So, we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen. I don't mind it, though. 100%. 100%, Vaughn. At least we are not going into the draft butt naked at certain positions. Butt naked. So, I like that. We got some veteran depth now at linebacker. So that's a good situation to be in. And you got to remember, at least I'm going to think this, that Vic Fangio is letting Howie know this is the type of guy that we're looking for. Kellen Moore is letting Howie know this is the type of guy that we're looking for. But, on offense, we pretty much got all the pieces. I think Saquon was just a cherry on top. So, but on defense is where we needed the most help. We could have kept, I don't necessarily think we needed Saquon. I think we could have kept DeAndre Swift, and I think Kellen Moore would have did the right things with him. And also this, I'm listening to all of these media heads, and this is another thing that lets you know when you're watching these media heads on ESPN and First Take and Get Up and Speak and all of these shows, Good Morning Football, you got somebody sticking stats in front of their face. They do not watch games. They do not watch games. TK, what's going on, buddy? I ain't even see you in there, fam. One of my grandsons up in the building. Them guys on the show do not watch tape. They don't. Because I'm here. I heard this 3 times today. 3 times. And it's like, Saquon Barkley brings another aspect to the Eagles. He can run the ball. They can throw the ball to him out of the backfield. And I'm like, hold on. We had that last year with DeAndre Swift. The only problem was we didn't do it. So in my estimation, the difference between this year and last year on offense is Kellen Moore. He's the biggest difference. I'm trusting that he's going to put Jalen under center and we're going to run a true play action. I'm trusting that he's going to recognize that we can run the RPO because Jalen won't be hurt. And he can, we can run that even better with Saquon Barkley. I'm trusting that Kellen Moore is going to understand that we do have to have a motion package where you send your receivers in motion to confuse the defense, make them commit to a player. Obviously, you're going to figure out, is it man or is it zone? But the putting somebody in motion does 2 things. You can tell if it's man or zone, and you can make your mismatches. If you got a linebacker guarding against Saquon or guarding against Kenny Gainwell or whoever, that's a mismatch. We didn't do it last year. We didn't do it. NFL is a copycat league. The Eagles were the only team wasn't copying last year. So I'm trusting that Kellen Moore is going to make those changes and adjustments because to me, they are common sense. I trust that Kellen Moore is going to have a freaking blitz package, a blitz pickup package for the offense and hot routes to go off of them. We didn't have that last year for whatever reason. And we were bitching about that for 6-7 weeks. The issues we had last year with the Philadelphia Eagles were not complicated. On offense, we had to change it up. We were too damn predictable. We didn't go in motion. And third and short, we were trying to throw the ball down the field. I don't know why. To me, those problems were fixable. You just needed a little creativity, and you needed to run the same plays, just draw them up differently. That's all you had to do. And at the NFL level, I should be able to expect that from an offensive-minded head coach and an offensive coordinator. Defense, we knew what our problem was. They were a little bit more serious. We couldn't tackle worth crap. And the whole dynamic with Sean Desai and Matt Patricia just went off the rails. I thought it was a mistake when they hired Matt Patricia in the first place. What you need him to help for when you just hire somebody as a defensive coordinator. What that tells me is that you wasn't really convinced on him when you hired him. So why you hire him? And it ended up blowing up in our face. Still don't know what we're going to do on defense as far as Bradbury. How are they going to play C.J. Gardner-Johnson? Are they going to play him as nickel, or are they going to play him as a true safety? So we're going to have C.J., G.J., and Reed Blankenship back there? How are they going to do that? So there's a lot of questions that we have to answer, but I think they are answering them, especially with this signing with Devin White. I liked what I saw from Nakobe Dean. He just hasn't been on the field long enough. Nakobe Dean has that build where he got them skinny ankles, man. That's genetics. Ain't really, there's not exercises you can do to bulk up your ankles. Ankles are like calves. You either have them or you don't. That's genetics. That's DNA. Ain't really much you can do about that. So, it is what it is. So, if Nakobe Dean can stay on the field, I saw enough of him to want to see more. But this year, that Georgia initiative, all them boys from Georgia got to bring it. All them boys from Georgia have to bring it. Jalen Carter, we know what he can do. I think he'll be better now that he's had a year under his belt and played a good amount of snaps. Jordan Davis is in the same way. The only problem with Jordan Davis is he got to watch that weight. When he gets up to a certain weight, he can still move, but his recovery time takes a lot longer. Everybody saw who was that? It wasn't Minnesota. Who did he chase out of bounds? Who did he chase out? Was it Mac Jones? No, it wasn't the first game of the year. No, I can't remember. Vince, who was that? Who was that, Vince, that Jordan Davis chased out of bounds? And then after that play, I mean, they talked about that play on the broadcast and a big man moving that fast, and they talked about all of that stuff. And then after that play, I think he took like 2 series off because he was wrecked. Josh Allen. Yep, there you go. Josh Allen. Thank you. So that was, and if you, after that play, for the rest of the year, we didn't see as much of Jordan Davis. Now, I don't know if that was the scheme, if that was the chaos with the coaches. I don't know what it was, but we did see less of him after that game. So, again, that whole Georgia collective, they got to show and prove next year. Again, we know what Jalen Carter is going to do. Jordan Davis, he's got to keep his cardio up. Nolan Smith, to me, was the leader of all of those rookies last year in camp. And he just didn't get the snaps that I think he deserved because, I mean, you can't. You got BG and Hassan Reddick and Sweat. They were all balling. So he got in and did his thing when he had an opportunity to. But Nolan Smith has to stay healthy. I still think he's playing a little bit too light, and Nolan Smith will always, unless he picks up some weight, he will always lose the battle of physics. He can beat a tight end, but if an offensive tackle gets his hands on you, man, you can cancel Christmas. Because that's hard to get away. Them big boys get their hands on you and drive you down in the dirt. You trying to bend, so you halfway at an angle, and all they got to do is just push you in the dirt. You got to be able to come up, get your hands underneath them, and, that's when you do the martial arts and try to maneuver and get around. You fast enough. You 4.34, dude. You ran a 4.34 at the combine. Hassan Reddick, as good as he is only a 4.56. Maybe he might be slower than that. But you 4.3 at your size. Bruh, if you put on 10 pounds, you still going to be in the 4.4s or at least the 4.5s. Either way is good. Either way. They're not catching you on that corner. And at least you put on another 10 pounds, 10, 15 pounds, you can handle yourself a little bit more. But right now, I say this all the time, Nolan Smith is built like my boy Willie T. Willie T was long, lanky, and fast. He was strong, but T wasn't offensive tackle strong. You're going to lose. You just lose the battle of physics. 240, 230, 240 versus 330. You're not going to make that. You're going to beat them a couple times, but eventually they're going to wear you down. So I'm saying all that to say, I want to see him put on a little bit of weight and do what he got to do. I think he can do it. Nolan Smith strikes me as a very disciplined type kid. So, I'm watching him though. I like what I see. I just, number one, I don't want to see him hurt. Because I think he popped his shoulder twice during the year. Popped his shoulder out twice. What's up, 316? File 316 is in the building. Appreciate you, bro. You don't have to start it from the beginning. You can join in. You can always go back later, but it's all good. I appreciate you, bro. So it's yeah, man. We got a lot of we'll be all right. And don't forget about Milt Williams. Don't forget about Ojomo. We still got a good defensive line. Our question marks were linebackers, but it looks like we're trying to answer those questions. 88s went on lunch break. I appreciate you sticking with us. It looks like we're answering those questions at linebackers. Yes, everybody named Mom in Philadelphia wanted Patrick Queen. Just didn't work out that way. But guess what? Them jokers getting paid. Xavier McKinney, we wanted him too. Who did he get paid? They divvying out some cash for these bad boys. And I ain't mad at them. Tupalotu. You know what? I didn't hear anything about him. So I'm going to assume yes. So I'm going to assume yes. I think we'll be okay without Fletch. I think it'll hurt more depending on who we keep. Because Fletch is a tackle. He is not, I know we're talking about Josh Sweat and Haas Reddick, but they are edges. Fletch was a tackle. So it's going to be Milt Williams and Ojomo. And listen, both them boys, when they get their opportunities, especially Milt Williams, they ball. So I'm good with them. I just want to see more of them, and we got to bring somebody else in to keep them fresh, to keep that rotation going. So, yeah, 88s. We just signed Devin White. We were talking about that earlier. So, let me see something real quick. Let me bring this up. The Philadelphia Eagles. Let me see. See if I can go to the roster. Depth chart. Damn, they didn't have the depth chart up. That's funny. They don't even have a depth chart on the Eagles website anymore. It just says, let me tell you what it says. That's all it gives you. The unofficial chart is compiled by the Eagles Media Relations Department. So, oh, dang it. They don't. That's funny. Oh, man. Because I want to go over our defensive line depth. I definitely want to see that. I know I can find it somewhere else, though. Hold on. Well, let's try this again. We're going to find it. Eagles depth chart. Because I know they're going to have a lot of names from last year. Yeah, ESPN will have it. There we go. All right. Jalen Hurts, Tanner McKee, AJ Brown, Lane Johnson. How old is this? Yep, they got Cam Jurgens in there. We'll talk about Cam Jurgens in a minute because I am very high on Cam Jurgens. Brandon Graham, Jordan Davis, Milt Williams, Josh Sweat, Devin White. Damn, they quick. ESPN is on it. Devin White just signed 5 minutes ago. They own it. Nakobe Dean, Haas Reddick, but Haas and Sweat still question marks. Bradbury, oof. CJ Gardner-Johnson, Reed Blankenship, Darius Slay. Okay. Milt Williams, Ojomo, Booker the fourth. Tui Pilato is still there, Jace. He's still there. Jalen Carter. They're going to have to move Jalen Carter and move him up as a starter. Jalen Carter must be a starter. He can't become Either put him on the other side or do something, but Jalen Carter needs to start. So, but we'll see what they work out with that. Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, again, look at it. We're okay. The only question mark I see right now, let's just say everybody stays the same. We know it's not going to happen, but just for the sake of argument, everything's going to stay the same. We'll keep Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick. I know it's not going to be that way, but just for the purposes of this conversation. Where's the problem? Weak linebacker, Devin White, Nolan Smith. Now see, there's something else. Nolan Smith and Zach Bond are both hybrids. Linebacker / edge. Nolan Smith at Georgia, he was an edge. He wasn't a linebacker. So, and here's the thing I said during the season. Because again, Nolan Smith is fast AF. Okay? However, when you are a linebacker, just because you fast does not mean you can cover. The difference is when you cover, you can backpedal and you can open and close your hips at speed. Watch a DB. Watch a DB open his hips and run with a wide receiver. Watch a DB open or close his hips and break on the ball. That's how you cover. Linebackers are fast, but there's not many linebackers that can cover. That's why usually most linebackers, most of their action is on the tight ends. Because the tight ends, they can move, but they can't move that fast. So it's more of an even matchup. Now you got some, studs out there like, you look at Kittles and you look at Travis Kelce and even go back, you look at somebody like Antonio Gates, like people like that, above and beyond. But for the most part, linebackers can cover. Linebackers can run, but they can't necessarily cover. As fast as Warner is in San Francisco, if he gets on a running back and that running back puts a move on him, he might be able to run with him, but when he jukes him and get them hips moving in the wrong direction, it's a wrap. He gone. And he better hope he got help coming. And for whatever reason, that was the one thing that we just didn't do. Even with Swift and Gainwell, how come we didn't match them up against linebackers? And it used to just irritate me. When I saw Debo come into the link, catch that 5-yard slant, and go into the end zone from 40 yards out untouched. That was horrible. But that was the matchup you wanted. Ain't no linebacker going to cover Debo, and they just kept exploiting our defensive scheme all game, and we didn't do nothing. So why can't we use those same advantages? We can. We just didn't. So I think there's a greater 50% chance that they extend Reddick, lower his cap, and trade Sweat during the draft or just before. I agree 100%. I think you are correct. And that would make sense because Josh Sweat is going to get you some trade capital. Josh Sweat is going to get you some picks back because he had a great year last year. So I can see that happening. Matter of fact, I kind of want it to happen. I want Hassan Reddick to stay because Hassan Reddick is from the Philadelphia area, from Camden. He's from here. Keep the homeboys at home. That's the reason why I wanted DeAndre Swift. I was saying that because not in a million years would I have ever thought that we would get Saquon Barkley. Even when all the noise was at its highest. I never would have seen that come. Never. Props to you, Howie. You get the golf clap, bro. You did it again. But I want to keep the homeboys at home. They earned their spot, but I don't feel so bad about DeAndre because he got his money. He got his bag. Miles Sanders got his bag when he went to Carolina. He ain't sniffing no wins, though. DeAndre Swift, it's a lot of turmoil out in Chicago. Do they know what they're going to do at quarterback yet? Is it going to be Caleb Williams? Are you going to trade the pick? What are they going to do? Are they going to keep Justin Fields? If they kept Justin Fields now, that would feel kind of disingenuous. Like, why would he want to play for the Bears after going through all of this? It's funny because now that, the way an athlete responds now is to scrub his social media. Scrub the logo off of his Twitter page and all that kind of stuff. It's like, to me, that's silly. But what do I know? I'm old. Get off my lawn. So, yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. They're gonna make the best deal, and I think again, I think they're gonna trade. I think they're gonna trade Josh Sweat. I would beg to differ, Jason. And the only reason I don't agree is because Josh Sweat is younger. Now, you might be able to find a couple teams that like the veterans and that prefer vets and stuff like that. But you're talking about Josh Sweat. He's 26. Hassan is about to be 30. So do I think Hassan Reddick is a better player and a more consistent player? Yes, absolutely, 100%. But Josh Sweat is younger. So, 26 years old, 30 tackles, 30 solo tackles, 6.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles, man. So, but the 26 years old, you can't beat that. You can't beat that because in my estimation, 27 is the last year of your prime, in my opinion. Now, some people degrade at different levels because, again, DNA, you are what you are. But from 22 to 26, 27 years old, That's your prime. And then when you hit 28, 29, 30, that's when it gradually starts going down, especially depending on what position you play. If you are a quarterback, when you hit 26, 27, 28, it starts to go up because now you done seen everything and you can sit back there. And because the NFL doesn't let anybody touch quarterbacks, they get better with time. Look at what Joe Flacco did last year. That was ridiculous. Joe Flacco came off the couch and was playing jokers like Madden. So we'll see what happens. The injuries might be why he's on the trade block trying to get value for him now. You mean for Josh Sweat? Could be. Could be. But, he's been pretty good. Josh Sweat ain't really ever been hurt, though. Josh Sweat has never, I'm looking at it, 2018, looks like he got hurt. He played 9 games. 2019, he played 16. 2020, he played 14. So it goes 9, 16, 14, 16, 16, and 17. So he was pretty much good. He's durable. His best year was 22, where he had 11 sacks. And then this year he had 6.5. But again, the 6.5 sacks, is that Sean Desai and Matt Patricia's fault? Is it the chaos in the locker room with the coaches and all that kind of stuff? Oh, you talking about prior to the NFL? Okay, my bad. But it don't matter. Look at his last 4 years as a reference. Since 2020, he's been solid. 14 games, 16 games, 16 games, 17 games. 6 sacks, 7.5 sacks, 11 sacks, 6.5 sacks. He's solid. So, he's good to go. Yeah, if he hasn't, if that hasn't surfaced now, he's good. If those injuries haven't surfaced in 5 years, he's good. But we're all one play away, so I get it. Yeah, Vince. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You got to look at who you're playing with. You got to look at what they're running, and you got to look at when you get your opportunities to go. Because are they running stunts? Are they, And again, you got to throw out everything the last half of the season because of the coaching staff. Because anybody that was on our defense last year, I would love to keep because I want to see what they're going to do. And I'm saying this even with Bradbury. I want to see what Vic Fangio is going to do with him. Because like I said earlier, by default, Vic Fangio is going to make that defense better. Vic Fangio, for all that crap they talked on him when he left Miami, Vic Fangio had Miami as a number 10 defense in the league. Number 10. Top 10. That counts. They should have beat Kansas City in Germany because they shut Kansas City down, but their freaking offense couldn't score in Germany. That counts. So Vic Fangio, by default, raises the level of what we're going to get out of our play. I believe that. So it's easy to say someone didn't live up to expectations and stuff like that. I always use the prime example of my guy, Mike Mamula. Everybody thinks Mike Mamula was a bust. He was not. Mike Mamula had a solid career. Look up the stats. But everybody wanted him to have 12 sacks a year. And it just didn't happen. So, but we're okay. What's up, Chris? Chris Bruce is in the building. We are okay in regards to our defensive line. I like Devin White, but he's going to need some help. So we got to see how everything molds and melds together when camp starts, because that's when it's really going to be That's when it's really going to pop off, because we get all of these personalities, especially new ones, that everybody got to get used to each other. You got new pieces on the board. Everybody got to get used to each other. Everybody got to get used to new voices in the locker room. All of that kind of stuff. Yep. Just signed Devin White. We just signed Devin White, Carlos. Unless you're talking about somebody outside of Devin White. Let's check the let's see. Anything else on NFL? Or Adam Schefter? Let's see. Adam Schefter. Curtis Samuel is signing a 3-year, $24 million deal worth $30 million. Get paid. I ain't mad at you. I don't see anything else. Eric Armstead got paid. Damn. He got paid. Yeah, you see, they put a squash to the Debo rumors too. But I don't see anybody. Carlos, you must be thinking about Devin White. So I think Bush would be good at linebacker. Which Bush? Who are you talking about, Chris? See what else is going on. Yo, I just saw I like this. Hold on. So we got new OC, Kellen Moore, new DC, Vic Fangio, Saquon Barkley, Bryce Huff, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Devin White, Devontae Parker. I forgot about Devontae. We just signed him too. Zach Bond and Matt Hennessy. That's who I was trying to think of, the offensive lineman Matt Hennessy. So we got a good signing. And of course, like I said before, Saquon Barkley is just a cherry on top. We got a great back with a great offensive line. So I can see Howie Roseman still finding a couple other people, but we'll see. So we shall see. Okay, Devin White. I like that. That's funny. That's funny. We are all witnesses. It's Howie season, man. It's Howie season. So I tell you what, man, I can't. It would be improper on my part. Hold up. Wait a minute. Stop it. Hold on. Okay, never mind. I ain't gonna tell you what I looked at because y'all laugh at me. I forgot what I was talking. Oh. Have y'all been listening to the stuff that's going on in Dallas? Bruh. Have you been hearing all this nonsense? Now, what I was saying was it wouldn't be right for me to get off me being an Eagles fan and not talking about what's going on in Dallas. And Dallas is going through some things. They got the girl is accusing Dak Prescott of sexual assault. There's a defamation lawsuit that Dak's filing against the woman that's accusing him. Then the radio station, the official Dallas Cowboy radio station down in Dallas, has the lawyers for the girl come in, and it's just a bad look for Dak Prescott. So everybody's like, are you doing this to kind of put the smear campaign on Dak Prescott, trying to drive down his price? And now there's a big feud between, because people in social media were the social media content creators that follow the Cowboys are asking those questions. And the radio station of course, they come out and say they're morons. They don't know what they're talking about. So now it's a feud between the traditional radio station, the official radio station of the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboy content creators. It is crazy. It is crazy. And I don't, I don't. Dak Prescott's accuser files the lawsuit against the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. Yeah, it's nuts, man. So they want to play like everything is everything, but it ain't. Dallas is in some trouble. I don't know if anybody heard the presser by Derrick Henry. Somebody asked him about how did he make his decision to go to Baltimore, blah, 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 blah. And I'm assuming that the guy that was asking the questions was a Dallas fan, because he was like, so what, you didn't hear anything from the Cowboys, and what made you decide for the, he's trying to why the Cowboys or why the Baltimore instead of the Cowboys. And Derrick Henry said, well, Cowboys never called. They didn't even ask. He said he got no calls, nor his agent got any calls from the Dallas Cowboys. So now all the fans are like, what the hell are we doing? They have no running backs. They didn't go after King Henry. No Joe Mixon. No Saquon. No, like, all of the good running backs are gone. So they're going to get what's left. Their starting running back right now is Deuce Vaughn, the 5'5" dude where his dad works in the Cowboys front office. That's their starting running back right now. So it's crazy. I don't know what they're doing, man. But Dallas is in bad shape right now. They are not in a good place. And it's weird how fast it got there. They going to Dak Prescott's brothers going off in social media. It's like, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy out there right now. But of course, if all the people up here in Philly loving it, because we can't stand the Cowboys, but still, let them self-destruct. Yeah, and I'm still looking for this news clip. I said it on one of my shows. This was last year. This was like probably almost 2 years ago now. I was like, if Micah Parsons doesn't drink the Dallas Cowboys Kool-Aid, and he continues to be that quiet player, he just gets it done on the field, all about his business. If he does that, Dallas is going to be a problem. I remember saying that specifically. Not 2 months later, he gets on Von Miller's podcast. He says what he says about Jalen Hurts, and that just started the ball rolling. And now he drunk the Dallas Cowboys Kool-Aid, and it's crazy. Self-destruction. And I've never seen, us included, we had the issue with Kenny Gainwell during the year. I've never seen so many players self-destruct and cause self-distractions. Not necessarily destruction, but they are creating their own distractions with all of this social media. It's crazy. It's crazy. Some people can keep it at the bay. I say this all the time. I give Jason and Travis Kelce, especially Travis, I give him all the props in the world. I give him a standing ovation, because with him dating Taylor Swift and everything that comes with that, and he's still, for the most part, able to keep everything to the side and keep it on the low. That is a masterful job. And you got Tyreek Hill, somebody that announced that he's getting divorced, and now his house burnt down a couple weeks ago. Dak Prescott, Von Miller going through his troubles. It's always something. CJ Gardner-Johnson, they were quick to bring up them receipts when they got him saying what he said about the Eagles fans. I knew that was going to happen. Here's a secret, though. A lot of the Eagles fans are obnoxious. But it was sour grapes on his part, and I understand that. Team just let you go. They didn't want to pay you the contract, so you did what you had to do. Ain't no love lost for them. So I understand that. You talk your talk, bro. I thought it was very smart of him. Even somebody as boisterous and as flippant as he is, he was smart enough to put out the apology first. And people still got mad at it. And I think it was just a thing where people got mad at it because they didn't have a chance to rip him for it before he issued the apology. Because people want to say, yeah, I ripped him on social media. I ripped him on TikTok or Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Get your clicks and your views. And then he apologizes. Then you want to say, yeah, we pressured him to say something, but he doesn't really mean it. They want to act like they're the catalyst. But because he put it out first, nobody can say that. And people still get mad. So I say, if you're going to be mad by yourself. So, yeah, Jason, Maxie Smith was kind of a bust. But I don't look at anything like bust anymore, man. You got to give Maxie Smith was a rookie last year. So I don't expect him to come in and just light it up. It don't work that way. You got to give him a chance to get his feet wet. I don't understand. We are in this era where everybody just wants to add water and have instant Pro Bowler. Doesn't exist at any position. When's the next time we're going to see somebody like Sauce Gardner that comes in and immediately is that dude? I don't know. Even the rookies that come in that are really good, I haven't seen too many rookies come in and have a year like Sauce Gardner on defense. So, people got nothing to do. So, you're right. You're right. Once a draft, what's the kid that came? The kid from Detroit, Hutchinson. Hutchinson was good. Hutchinson was damn good. And everybody was trying to say the same thing about what's the kid? What's the defensive guy? The defensive back that we want. Everybody wanted us to draft him instead of Jordan Davis, or I'm sorry, instead of Jalen Carter. What's his name? Was it Kyle Hamilton? Is that right? Kyle Hamilton. Everybody wanted to get him. That's the kid from Notre Dame, right? But people forgetting, like, if he would have been here, his situation probably wouldn't have been the same. Now, I don't think it was Hamilton. It wasn't Witherspoon. But I know we wanted Witherspoon too, Jason. So you're not necessarily wrong. But I was talking about Kyle Hamilton. Yeah. Yeah. Instead of Jordan Davis. But I like Jordan Davis, man. Jordan Davis is a 340-pound man that ran a 4.7. Stop playing. I want Jordan Davis. He'll get it together. But you're not going to have too many, like, add water instant Pro Bowlers, man. We can't do that. They ain't pancakes. So we got to let the people take their lumps. Oh, and the point I was trying to make was we have the prime example on our team. You guys already know who I'm going to say. You look at Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham had to take his lumps. And if he wasn't in Philadelphia, if we didn't have the coaches we had, if we didn't have the team that we have, he wouldn't be Brandon Graham. He wouldn't be on another team celebrating his 15th year. He wouldn't have made it that far. There is something to be said for being at the right place at the right time with the right people. I always tell this story. When I was with the Eagles, we had a rash of injuries that year. Byron Evans got hurt. Randall tore his knee against the Jets. Seth got hurt. Kenny Rose broke his ankle. It was tons of stuff that was going on. And I remember walking into Kotite's office, asking him, because I would be the active inactive. I would be the guy that they would travel on all the away trips. I would go down, work out, and they would deem me inactive. Because at that time, Heath Sherman, who was our start, Heath Sherman and Herschel, they were our starting running backs. But Heath Sherman was hurt. But they would always use Heath as the backup. Herschel was the starter. Heath was the backup. So they would travel me but I would never get in the game. Never get in the game. So I'll go to Kotai's office and I was like, let me play on special teams. Let me run down there and make a tackle because you got starters playing on special teams. And I'm saying that because that was my opportunity to really make an impact on the team and possibly be able to stick around for 3 to 5 years. If I'd have been on another team, I may have gotten that opportunity. And I'm saying all that to say it matters where you are and who you're with. Next year comes around, Eagles draft Charlie Garner, and I get to axe. Rightfully so. Charlie Garner was a beast. But I could have been a special teams player. I could have went down and covered kicks or did kick return or whatever. But they didn't want to make that move, so I never got that opportunity. It matters who you're with, who your coaches are, the people around you, because you never know how that opportunity is going to manifest. So BG was in the right place at the right time with the right people, and he lasted 15 years because of it. Because if you remember earlier in his career, they were talking about getting rid of him twice. They wanted to get rid of him twice. But they stuck with him, and he is going to be in the Eagles Hall of Fame, period. You already know. He means too much to this city. He means too much to this team. If we would have lost Kelsey, Fletcher, and BG all in the same year, that would have been a tough pill to swallow. Because in my opinion, BG is now the de facto voice of the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen's the captain. He's the face. But Brandon Graham is definitely the heart of the Eagles right now. It was Jason Kelsey, but it's BG right now. Who else on the team's got that much tenure? Nobody. Lane Johnson? But Lane Johnson's a quiet. He's not the voice. I'm sure he does say some things, but Lane Johnson is he's the quiet type. What's up, Ryan Swope? Appreciate you, bro. So we got we're trying to get there with people. William, my name is Marcus Thomas. My last name is Thomas. It was me, Vaughn Hebron, James Joseph, Herschel Walker, and Heath Sherman. We were the running backs, 93 and 94. So we got you got to take your time and get it together. Let people take their lumps and get in where they fit in. And this day and age, a lot of people don't do that anymore. So it is what it is. Definitely is what it is. So one thing I want to go over real quick, just to mention it, Kirk Cousins officially changed his name. Kirk Cousins, hold on. I made a graphic for this and put it on my Twitter page. Let me find it real quick. Hold up. There we go. Kirk Cousins with the dollar signs. That man need to go ahead and write a book. $150 million contract. That Kirk Cousins has made $400 million in his career, and he's only made the playoffs one time. One playoff win. That's it. $400 million in a career. I don't understand it. You need to call this joker Tony Stark or something, because yeah, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. So, but props to him, man. Make your money, bro. I ain't mad at you. Atlanta want to pay you down there. Be the king of the South, because that's about as far as you go. But I ain't mad at them. Get your money. And they got who they end up getting in Minnesota? Sam Darnold. I got a couple of friends that I used to work with that are heavy Vikings fans, and they are not happy at all. Not happy at all. You got Sam Darnold. Yo, I appreciate that, William. They used to call me. I was in the locker room. I'm getting my ankles taped. Otho Davis was taping me up. I'm in the locker room, Seth is in there getting treatment. And there was a couple other people in there. I just remember it was me. Mike Quick walks in the room and looks at me and he goes, Seth, I ain't know your little brother played. Because people used to, at that time, Seth had just cut his hair and we kind of resembled each other. People would think I was Seth's little brother. And we did. We did. When I used to go to Sixers game and stuff like that, I remember I was at a Sixers game and a guy said I looked like Charles Barkley. The kid asked me for Charles Barkley's autograph. People used to think I was Seth all the time. They, give me the double take. And of course, when I was coming out of college, a lot of people used to tell me I looked like Herschel Walker because I had the squared out fade. So I really looked like Herschel Walker. Yes, I talk with Seth all the time. I'll take that back. I do not talk with Seth all the time, but we go back and forth on Twitter. We've been on the same show together, like a podcast. We was on a podcast together a couple weeks ago. I'm trying to get him on the show. It's always a timing issue because you got to remember somebody like Seth is always busy. So I'm efforting to get him on the show. Seth was a cool vet, man. All my vets of that 93 year, man. Seth and Clyde and Byron Evans and Mark. I had Mark McMillan on. I got to get him on again. I had Mark McMillan on last year after he was on Next Level Chef. So that was fun. So I'm going to get some more of them guys back on here again. Yeah, Seth knows his game. I know a lot of people wanted him to be an assistant defensive coach, and I'm like, if he wanted that job, he would go for it. But I don't think Seth likes his time and likes the golf course and all that kind of stuff. So, and I ain't mad at him, but coaching is a grind. Coaching is a time killer, and it sucks up all of yours. So, but yeah, man, them good people. All my vets, Vi Sikahema, real good friends with Vi. Willie T is my best friend. Willie T was the best man at my wedding. So I still, while we're not always in each other's presence, we always see each other at alumni days. Calvin Williams, I still talk to him every now and then. Vaughn Hebron, I still see him every now and then. So, stuff like that. So it's all good. So him and you talking about Kirk Cousins. You ain't told no lies, bro. You have not told any lies. I can't be mad at him, man. Cash your checks. Because God knows the NFL will steal stuff from you. Tell you what, man. I was so happy that both Fletch and Jason Kelsey, and I talked about this last week, I was so happy that both of them guys walked away from the game. When I say walked away, I mean literally walked away. The game didn't spit them out. The last play wasn't getting carted off the field on a stretcher or, you know what I'm saying, with injuries and stuff like that, especially when you're talking about two of the best in the business playing in the trenches, and they got a chance to walk away. Now, I'm sure they're going to have their issues and medical stuff. They're going to get their turn at it, but for the most part, nothing major. And they got a chance to walk away, and the game did not spit them out. And I'm praying for the same thing for Brandon Graham. I hope nothing major happens, and at the end of the year, whether we make it all the way to the Super Bowl, I want to see Brandon Graham walk off that field. So when you see stuff like that happen to Aaron Rodgers and Greenlaw in the Super Bowl, like, that is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. So it's it's tough. So I hope they can both walk away. Bill, I'm with you, bro. Don't get me started on that rabbit hole, man, about new-a-days versus two-a-days and how it was back in the day. I become that get off my lawn guy. I become the old guy. Our era was the best. We smashed, we banged all the time. We hit, we knew how to tackle. Yeah, man, it was cool. You earned it. You earned your spot on the team. You earned your spot on the team. So I don't know what they do, man. Halo helmets and all of that kind of stuff. But it's all good, man. But listen, we've been rolling for about an hour 40 almost. So I'm gonna get up out of here, give me something to eat, and keep it moving. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit me up on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. But what I need you to do most is subscribe on YouTube so I can keep this thing growing, getting some traction, doing some things. And we're going to keep it moving. I appreciate everybody that was in the chat. Paul Philly Man, William Galbraith, my boy Jason Sink. I appreciate you, bro. Vince, Chris Bruce. Appreciate you, brother. Who else am I missing? Carlos Andino. He's new to the chat. I appreciate you. 88 SMC. I appreciate you, bro. Everybody that popped in, man. All my people on the Facebooks. All my homeboys that touch base. Devon Hall. My homies, Dwight Farley and Dwayne Hunter. I appreciate y'all for popping in. Everybody, man. I appreciate y'all. Tell everybody about me. Vaughn Russell, I see you in there. Hope to see you again. Let's make this thing grow. Tell your friends about me. All right. My goal is to consistently be above 100 viewers on my stream, on my YouTube stream. Right now, we got up to like 51 today. So I got up to 110 the other day. So I want to keep that moving. But we're going to keep some things going. So tomorrow is Friday. So I will be live at lunch at 12:10 to about 12:50 p.m. I always do a lunchtime thing. So if you working in the middle of the day, you can check me out, eat your sandwich, and I'll have you out of there and done before it's time to clock back in. So we always have fun with that. And I'm sure there would be some other moves coming. So Vince, I appreciate you, homie. And everybody else, man, thank you for tuning in. And stay tuned and check my YouTube channel because I am going to have some upcoming information and announcements about my schedule and the times that that I'm streaming, because I want to make that plain and I want to get in a more consistent schedule for you guys. So if you got any feedback, hit me up. Hit me up on the socials, man. I'm always listening. I am not the smartest guy in the room. And if I am the smartest guy in the room, I'm going to find a new room. All right. I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all, and I will see you on the next one. Go Birds.